Hey people, it's Nice talking. Now, I know I said in the title this is a commentary, but this is just sort of like a stream of consciousness, so I'm just putting it out there. Now, today I saw a post from a woman, and I remember talking to her once because she said this was a black Jamaican woman who went to Japan. And I remember commenting under her post, like, why would you go to Japan of all places? There's a lot of anti black racism there. And she was very polite and respectful when she replied. She said, with all due respect, I understand that, but nobody can tell me where I can and can't go. If they have a problem with me, that's their problem. I'm going to go where I want to go. And this leads me to a lot of my thinking. Like, we keep seeing this thing with black people going into these spaces where they're not wanted and then complaining about the end result. I mean, we see the stuff with the what was it, the weave shops. We've all seen that video by now of these black women getting beaten in these shops. Like, time and time again, we have seen how they treat black women, that they have no hesitation whatsoever in beating them, attacking them, or straight up killing them if they feel that that's what they want to do, that they don't care. Yet we still see them going there. And before some people start in this whole gender warring shit, this is not just about black women, it's just all of them, the genders, both male and female. I mean, let's take a look at, what was it, Bakari Henderson? I think that was his name, the brother who got killed in Greece. And I always think, like, why are you going to Greece? Like, even these countries in Eastern Europe where they've never seen a black person are super, super racist. Okay? Trust me. I mean, I've heard stories from people who got to football matches there, and they've said that they've seen, whenever there's a black player, I think it was in Serbia, that they've thrown bananas onto onto the football pitch. Okay? And this is one of the things I want to go on to about, like, black people going into other people's spaces. Like, if we look at the civil rights movement, that's where a lot of this was really pushed as some kind of means to solve things. Like, we saw people going into white restaurants saying we want to be served here and being harassed, spit on. And I'm like, wow, your mind has to have been something gone wrong with you to think that this is an approach to freedom. Listen, if you have self-respect, you don't want to go into a place where people are mistreating you and then demand that they treat you right. When I've been going to a shop and they've just had a little bit of attitude, I've walked out and never come back. I'm not going to go into a shop and give them my money just so they can talk down to me. Because, I have a reasonable level of self-esteem and self-confidence. And that behavior, this mind-effed behavior, was praised as if it was achieving something. And what did it really do? All those businesses in the black American community, which had been built over a century, vanished because integration meant that there's no need to go to the black barber. Well, those things to do with, but the black restaurant or the black lawyer or this and that, because you can go to the white one now. There's no barriers there. And talking about traveling, there are 53 African nations. I think there's about 192 or 93 nations in total. So a quarter of the world is African nations. And there's more if you include, say, the black nations of the Caribbean, like Haiti and Jamaica and Barbados, nations like that. Now, I don't include Cuba and the Dominican Republic because it wouldn't matter if everybody there was black. We know that a lot of them have gone into the point is that they are not black and sort of side against black people, so I don't count them as black nations. But, we see everyone going to these other countries. If every black person just went to Africa for their holidays, it would push Africa way ahead. There's nothing in other countries that you can go to. There's nothing in other countries that you can't find in Africa. You want deserts, you want rainforests, you want mountains, you want ancient monuments. Egypt, you can find ancient religious monuments. There's loads of them throughout Africa. I mean, Christianity and Islam have loads of ancient monuments there. Ethiopia is one of the largest Christian nations. I mean, one of the oldest Christian nations. You can find ancient mosques in Mali, okay? And if you want exotic, you can find, things that that are weird and strange. I mean, there's that group of people who speak in the Click language in Botswana. I mean, that would be really interesting to see. Or is it the Xhosa? But that's something interesting to see. And if you want to see, if people going to see the Far East, or we want to see the Asian culture, there's no reason to go there. The Asian culture is not an original race, okay? The Khoisan in South Africa and Namibia, look them up, the Khoisan. They are the Asians are, you don't get black people with those Asian features looking like Asians. Asian people look like black people. And those people, the Khoisan, are some of the oldest people on earth. Okay? So there is nothing that you can get from other nations that you cannot get just by going back to Africa for a holiday. And there are other aspects of this. Okay? Now, do you know the owner of Red Bull? He came up with the idea when he went to Thailand and he saw that their own energy drinks. And he thought, I can make an idea, this own product. I don't think he was from America, he was from Austria. He was Austrian. But he went to Thailand and he saw the idea, and he took that idea and went and made it back in Switzerland, and he became rich, or Austria, or whatever. So think about that. Imagine if all these black people in America, Canada, Britain, France, all these European nations went back and started making connections, learning from the black peoples in the motherland, and saying, you know what, we can partner with you. We can help develop your ideas. We can help, get these resources out there. And, not in the way that the Western companies and Chinese companies do, where they just rob them at gunpoint and take everything they've got, but in a real cooperative way that develops both. Think about what could be achieved. And secondly, what do you call it? The Chinese. Let's look at the Chinese. People complain about what the Chinese are doing in Africa. Do you know that the Chinese are not there doing their business? I mean, doing what they're doing because they're on holiday. I've never heard the Chinese doing something because they're on holiday in Africa. It's all business. When the Chinese go abroad, they're not messing around. They're there to do some business. So that's what the attitude needs to be. If an African is going to visit a non-black country, he needs to be about, we're going to do business and we're here to dominate these people and to try and to subject these people to our will. Because that's what the Chinese do when they go to Africa. So if you want to go to another country, you have to have the same attitude. I mean, not forcibly, but the idea is to economically dominate them. To put in an installation, a factory, start up a plantation, a farm, or whatever, and to be able to take those resources back to Africa and benefit the people. And there's a whole Jedi mind trick that's been done on black people. They think they need anybody else. They don't. I mean, what was it? That woman who climbed the Statue of Liberty for those Mexicans? Do you see the Mexicans climbing the Statue of Liberty for people in Haiti, people in Nigeria, people in Africa, anywhere? Or what about the black peoples in Brazil who get shot? Do you see them complaining and saying, this is terrible, we need to climb the Statue of Liberty to protest the injustices in Rio, in Brazil? They don't give a fuck. So, and that's one of the things, and that behavior only comes when someone has been mind-screwed to empathize with those who do not care about them. Okay? To finish this off, I was saying, black people have been conned into thinking they need other people. No. Everybody needs black people. They need black people's resources. They need their ideas. They need their labor. They need their creativity. They need their organs. Yeah, you heard me. I've said it before. They need their organs. You don't need them. They need you. So go look at one another. Look at towards traveling to other countries and working in business and doing business with each other. And don't go to caping for no one who wouldn't go caping for you. Period. Anyway, this has just been a bit of a rant. I hope that you've learned something or can take something away from this. Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'll leave the GoFundMe in the description if you want to donate to that. If you see videos on Black Junction TV, and you see an ad, click on them because it helps the content creators make money. Okay, and also donate to Black Junction TV as well. And I'll leave my Instagram in the description so you can find me on there as well. Peace.